After releasing our music video, we managed to interview some of the target audience to see what they had to say about our music video. We were well aware that our music video was flawed in several aspects, but we wanted to see if audiences would pick up on this, and also on aspects that we felt we had performed well on. We could then rectify these flaws in due course.
Okay, so the range of shots and all the ideas and use of green screen throughout the entire film was really, really good and very creative, especially when you put the actor underwater and film from underneath, and then also when you put the green screen over his head. That was very cool. My only criticism would be that sometimes the use of green screen was overused.
Throughout your film, I felt there was a clear narrative and enjoyed the shots of the walls closing in towards the end. However, I feel there is some dodgy green screening going on which could have been improved. Yes.
I like the use of filters in some of the shots. They're really effective in adding to the atmosphere of the film, but I felt that there wasn't any clear narrative going on.
I think there was a narrative developing, and I liked your use of your mise-en-scène was really good as well, but I think the green screen was a little bit too much at times.
We expected to be critiqued on the use of green screen, which at times we admit hindered the quality of our music video. Audiences remarked that green screen was overused and that some sets didn't look realistic enough. We fully take this critique on board. It's always better to use practical effects rather than green screen, as it looks more realistic and makes the media look more fluid. We did this where we could, for example in the drowning sequence, but there were several sequences in our music video where this just couldn't be the case. Next time we will endeavour to use sequences that can be filmed without the use of green screen, that can match the originality of them.
We didn't expect for one audience member to mention that our music video had no clear narrative. This is a big cause for concern, as our sole aim of making this music video was to tell the story of the drug user and the negative implications of using drugs. If the audience member couldn't be engaged in the narrative we were trying to portray, then it was a wasted opportunity for them and ultimately for us. Luckily, this wasn't the case with the other audience members.
To make the narrative clearer, we could include a couple of shots of the character at the beginning to reinforce to the audience that the images they are seeing on screen connect with each other. However, the downside to that is that if we made our narrative more explicit, then it would undermine the surreal nature of the events we're trying to portray on screen, and it would tonally shift the atmosphere that we were trying to create in our music video.
The overall positive reception from audiences that we received was reassuring and bolstered our confidence in our music video. We were commended for our craft in the fact that we tried to make our music video surreal by incorporating green screen to conjure complex scenarios, and audiences particularly liked the shot of the protagonist crawling through a claustrophobic space with the walls closing in on him, and also the shot where he can't feel his face. In these aspects, our hard work paid off, and it was good to see the audiences generally liked our video.
I think there's really good synergy between the music video and the ancillary texts. However, I did think that the text wasn't as clear as it could be on the advertisement. It couldn't really read it properly.
So I thought it was really clever the way they used like the same image like with the cartoon face, and I thought it was really cleverly done, but I think that they could have used more pictures and like been a bit more creative with the choice of pictures.
I thought you could have used like a wider variety of effects though to like kind of improve the overall like theme of your digipack, but overall it was really good.
We were well aware that our ancillary texts were flawed in several aspects, but we wanted to see if audiences would pick up on this and also on aspects that we felt we had performed well on. We could then rectify these flaws in due course.
One audience member mentioned that the writing was quite hard to read. We used a text box in Photoshop and resized and recoloured it. We generally used a large size to make it clear to the audience. However, in retrospect, perhaps the black colour doesn't match a grey background, as they're quite similar in tone. However, we couldn't use white as it would detract from the dark, ominous tone of our video, but perhaps we could have used a lighter colour, such as red or yellow, to make it stand out more. Yellow perhaps would have been better, as it would have matched the smiley faces, and created more of a synergy between them.
Another audience member criticised us for not having a wide variety of images. Whilst we take this advice on board, we feel that having the same image is a better choice, as it establishes a set theme or tone for the digipack and advert. If we had used multiple images, audiences could possibly critique us for not being focused on a set theme.
We were overall pleased with our feedback on our auxiliary texts. We were happy that audiences thought it was original and that we stuck to the same sort of tone, and that it was synergistic between them and the music video.